The next batch of listings that come courtesy of JT Prime 17 is something that is related to the future of fiction within Transformers in 2021, and it's that of the announcement of the new Transformers Botbots series, this comedy based series that Hasbro and Boulder Media and E1 Entertainment have been talking about. Now, since early last year, I want to say around April of 2020, there was talks of Series 6 of the BotBots figures. And then, of course, the big V happened and the shutdowns, and we didn't get much of it. Nothing ever showed up in retail. Some listings, some images, a lot of stuff was vague. We had the early Toy Fair stuff from like January before everything went crazy. We didn't know much, essentially. Now we have all of these listings here, and it gives us kind of a clear indication of what's going to be happening going into the new year and what also might be in relation to how they're going to tackle the fiction. It was something that I kind of predicted when I did my discussion about it a few days ago, but we'll jump into that. So we have a whole bunch of listings here. Now, unlike my listings that I posted on Twitter, which have a whole number correspondence with the F number, and there's very little gaps in between, so we're able to really figure out what's going to be coming out in relation to, let's say, Kingdom or Studio Series in that year. Unfortunately, with BotBots, there's huge discrepancies of number spacing. So you have products that are like FO477, FO478, and then nothing until like much later. It's pretty crazy, until like 800. So BotBots have a lot more product. There's a lot more spaces in between. It's harder to really pinpoint just how much there is going to be coming out. But we can look at these listings and get a general idea of what's going on with the naming conventions and stuff like that. So to give an example, to start from the beginning of all of these listings, we have the BotBots vehicle multi-pack assortment, and these are 4 per case, and the MSRP on it is $19.99. Now, the $19.99 price point with BotBots has really been just kind of with their surprise series of stuff. They had their like toilet surprise, which was like a giant toilet bowl, and it had 10 BotBots inside. And they did the same thing with the treasure surprise. So it's probably going to be more of a continuation of that. And the vehicle name on it is probably, it's going to be a vehicle that's holding the BotBots. Could be a pickup truck. Who knows what it's going to be. Could be even a food truck, maybe even. And that would actually kind of make more sense in a lot of ways. So there's that. And after that is a BotBots 8-pack assortment, 8 per case, $14.99. That's the kind of standard, larger pack BotBot stuff that we got. And the Arcade Renegades is one example of that, and many others. So, but it's pretty vague on what it's going to be. Then we got a BotBots vehicle pizza and a BotBots vehicle controller, and they're also at that MSRP $19.99. Again, these could be giant cardboard vehicle packages with 10 BotBots assortment, like, again, that toilet bowl and the treasure chest. So we don't really know. A lot of people have been reading these and going, oh, vehicle, is BotBots going to be going into vehicles now and stuff instead of just inanimate objects? I don't think so. I think this is just in relation to what the packaging is going to be shaped like. One's going to be probably a pizza truck or a pizza delivery car. The other one's going to be, it says here, a controller. It could be a mobile video game or something. Who knows? Could be an arcade shaped like a vehicle, like you see the old racing games or something from the 90s. Could be one of that. So then after that we have BotBots 8-pack pet, and then BotBots 8-pack janitor's closet. Now, the pet one, I think I have a pretty good idea of what that is. Back in April, we were shown on, I believe it was Amazon, some BotBots art of a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't know what it was. It clearly looked like a pet store. It had a goldfish. It had a dog bone. It had a bunny rabbit. And it was all inanimate objects that turned into different kinds of robots. Now, the goldfish one, I think, was the only one that could be technically count as something that isn't an inanimate object. It actually is a living thing, although it could be a fake goldfish that you put in a goldfish bowl. I don't know. But this is definitely that. Chances are the pet one probably is a fake aquarium, and the janitor's closet, as it's called here, is probably going to be some kind of a locker or janitor's closet. Again, it's that $19.99 price point, which is the 10-pack of figures that come with a whole bunch of odds and ends of characters. Then we have finally the 5-pack price point. There's four different ones of these, and this is where it gets interesting. We have the AM store, which could possibly be the hardware kind of store that has all kinds of the construction inanimate objects and like chainsaws and stuff like that. Then you have the food court, you have the skate shop, and then you have, returning again, the Sugar Shocks. Chances are these could all be repacks. Skate shop, food court, sounds like the Greaser Gang again. Same thing when I mentioned chainsaw with the first one, could be, a repeat of that kind of stuff from like the hedge heads, I think they were called, shed heads, excuse me. And then the Sugar Shocks. So the Sugar Shocks have been present in the first 4 waves, and they weren't in the 5th wave. Chances are this could be all repacks, getting ready for a TV series that's going to be introducing maybe some of those Wave 1 characters again. Just an assumption. Probably going to see the donut and, the coffee and the chocolate bar and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I think it could be. One thing that's missing here is we saw a set on Walmart that was called the Caffeine Collective. We didn't see what they looked like, but the listing was there. That listing is absent here, but considering there's such huge gaps in between the numbering of all this stuff, it probably fits in there somewhere. Probably a coffee shop based set. But there's just a lot of weird stuff here. And we don't really have much information on it. But it does show that Botbots is going to have a whole bunch of stuff for 2021. And with the TV series coming at the same time, this is no surprise. So there is some form of, and I use air quotes here, Series 6. But for all we know, it could be a completely big refresh for the brand going into this new concept. Kind of like how Rescue Bots had like their initial wave of stuff that wasn't really related to the show, and then when the show came out, it just had a whole new refresh, and now the product started to match more what the show had, where the human figures matched the show characters rather than human figures that were just randomly put on the side. Anyone who was like collecting early rescue bots would know what I'm talking about. So I think it's going to be kind of the same thing here. I think that there's going to be some kind of a refresh to have synergy with what's going on the TV screen. But that's just my take on it. Again, Botbots is still, even though it's been around for a while and there's tons of them, it really is still a very early brand in that it's a collectible brand, but it doesn't have much fiction. It doesn't have much, world building outside of the little displays that we've seen online and the pieces of art that don't really have a story behind them. I think there was like one storybook that was put out or something, and I never found it, but it's out there somewhere. So it's interesting to say the least. I'm curious to see what goes on from here. But for anyone that was collecting Botbots that was wondering if there's anything coming past Series 5, here it is. Some of it that was rumored in the past that was Series 5, now there's more or less a confirmation of it. And we could look forward to that going into 2021 this year.